Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Benji and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your very smart puppy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and lots of motivations that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any little correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Benji's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now Benji is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're demonstrating for us is heeling. The command is Benji heel, and at this point Benji has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with Brandy when walking. So when she's walking with him, he should be matching her pace. Not forging ahead or lagging behind, but staying nicely at her left. We want to keep that head up off the ground because that gives you control. And when she stops her feet, he's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. And she praises him for a good job, and she takes off heeling with him again. And it's always been my opinion that if a dog can't heel or follow the simple direction to walk on a leash and sit automatically when you stop, then they can't really move forward in training. And he's looking up at her. You can tell he's enjoying it. His tail is wagging. He's happy. He's enjoying the one-on-one attention. And the next command that they're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. He anticipated a D-O-W-N. The long sit stay when you're practicing at home can be practiced indoors as well as outdoors. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds and you're going to slowly work up to a 3-minute long sit stay. When Brandy returned back to him, she walked counterclockwise all the way back around to his shoulders where they started, and then they take off heeling again. When she stops her feet, he's being taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So when you're walking down the street and you stop to cross traffic, he should sit and wait for you to tell him what you want him to do next. Brandy left him in another sit stay. She backs all the way up to the end of her 6-foot leash. That's why we use those, to give you distance. And this time, instead of returning back to him, Brandy's going to demonstrate the come on command. It's Benji come, happy voice, and he comes right in and sits. Your kids have been a pleasure to have here, by the way. They're both very nice dogs, very well mannered, even when they came. Benji's very smart. And Brandy likes to make it fun with the puppies so that they're having fun learning. She's going to use his name and she's going to call him. If he doesn't come in, she reels him in like a little fish. He has to come all the way in and sit. He can't sit halfway in. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are his down commands. And the first down is the down from a heel position. So with him seated at your left, you're going to take your left open palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down and stay. The long down stay is best practiced right in your living room. There's really no use for it outside. We just video outside because it gives us more space. But you can practice this right inside while you're eating dinner. Brandy walks all the way around him back to heel, and they'll demonstrate that again for us. So everything starts and stops at that heel position. So every time you get back to his shoulders, he's going to expect to get another command. That's your down from a heel. Always have your dog seated before you attempt to put him into a down. This time Brandy will call him out of that down stay. She brings him right in and has him sit. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. So he's seated, Brandy leaves him in a stay and she turns to face him. This is the only time you'll see her use her right hand to give the command. And then she gives him that down command and backs up. She did have to give him that little tug because he was about to blow her off. And sometimes when you're having a lot of fun with training, the puppies get goofy and they test a little bit. So if you find that he's testing too much, then back up on your praise until you're finished your exercises. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Benji's formal on-leash obedience commands. We'll have lots of written instructions for you. We'll answer any questions that you have about your little guy. Anything that we can do to help to make the transition home easier. We've enjoyed having both of your kids. They've been a pleasure. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.